The Broncos dodged a major disaster at the running back position. Welcome in Broncos country to the Broncos Breakdown by Chat Sports. My name is Moose, and on today's episode, I'm going to break down exactly why I am so grateful the Broncos passed up on drafting Omarion Hampton, because as of right now, he looks awful. And if you agree with me and you're happy they drafted Harvey instead of Hampton, do me a favor. Hit that thumbs up icon. So on this channel, going back to pre-draft, post-2024 season, this was even before I took over. Matthew Peterson, shout out Petey, was also very high on Omarion Hampton. And he and I collabed on a lot of different episodes talking about the pros and cons that Omarion Hampton would bring to the Denver Broncos offense if he was drafted by this team. And the measurements, the profile, it jumps off the page. 6 foot, right? He's 221 pounds. He was 2024 second team All-American and first team All-ACC. He has size, strength, aggression, all of that jumped off the tape at you. And the pros and cons were also, the cons kind of were limited by the pros. But we have seen time and time again, not only from Omarion Hampton, but from other players around the league going back 50 years, that just because you were good in college does not mean that you're going to be great in the pros. Well, let's just go back to his most recent game. He carried the ball 8 times for 24 yards and caught one of his 2 targets for an additional yard in his 20-9 win over the Las Vegas Raiders. But it wasn't because Omarion Hampton was great. In fact, the Chargers are 2-0 despite Omarion Hampton, who has made a multitude of errors through his first 2 games. Now, I know what you're going to say. Oh, he's just 2 games. He's a rookie. He's figuring it out. Maybe so. But I can tell you right now, through 2 weeks, RJ Harvey has shown me so much more than Omarion Hampton, not just in the stat sheet, but also just by the eye test. Now, I'll bring up RJ Harvey in a little bit, but let's just go through the stats real quick. 23 carries for 72 yards, 3 receptions for 14 yards, and a PFF grade of 54.8. He's got 0 touchdowns on the year. Has he been contributing to this Chargers run game? No, he has not. The Broncos have a much better run offense at this point, highlighted by a much better offensive line, in my opinion. Now, remember, the offensive line had a rough first half against the Titans, but since then has played really, really well. And CBS Sports doesn't just spew out these negatives all the time. They only give criticism to players when they really deserve it. So if you don't even want to listen to Moose tell you about how bad Hampton has been, listen to CBS Sports. There weren't a whole lot of positive takeaways for the rookie in this one, talking about that game against the Las Vegas Raiders. 1 week after leading the backfield in touches, Hampton split the carries evenly with Najee Harris at 8 apiece. And the veteran also chipped in with 2 receptions for 20 yards, talking about Harris. Perhaps, though, more crucially, a botched handoff on the Chargers' penultimate possession directly led to a fumble, which gave the Raiders a modicum of life, and then Harris finished ensuing series to ice the game. So, what happened in that specific play? Well, this one was from the Chiefs game. So I'll talk very briefly about what happened during the Chiefs, and then I'll go back to the game against the Las Vegas Raiders. On this specific play right here that you're looking at, Hampton fumbles the ball. The Raiders get the possession. They end up screwing it up because Geno Smith sucked. He threw 3 picks, no touchdowns. And then after this happens, Najee Harris comes in and basically ices out the game. Harbaugh takes Hampton out of the game and says, you made too crucial of a mistake. We need to win this football game. Let's go back to the Chiefs game. Hampton at one point ran out of bounds and stopped the clock, giving Mahomes more time on the clock to lead the Chiefs down the field to get a field goal before the half ends. And as we have seen multiple times, Broncos fans know this better than anybody, when you give Patrick Mahomes even 20 seconds more than he should get, he can absolutely burn you. He is one of the best in NFL history at making sure that he gets 30 seconds or less to go down and at least put 3 points on the board. Marshawn Lynch was at this game, by the way, saw it, came over to coach Omarion Hampton, and basically was like, you cannot do that. So let's talk about the rookie mistakes that Hampton has shown, and then we'll get into R.J. Harvey. He ran out of bounds to give Mahomes more time. The costly fumble against the Raiders, and he had shown zero burst in the backfield. Now, you could say that's because of his offensive line. You could say it's because of this. You could say it's because of that. Either way, he has not been good. And coming up next, I'm going to tell you why R.J. Harvey will not only be better this season, but will be better as a whole going forward in their entire career than Omarion Hampton. Now, before I do that, I got to tell you about my friends from Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every single day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on Prize Picks, where it is good to be right. Very simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you could cash in. How does it work? Here's my lineup that I gave you. It's very easy. I comboed with some baseball and some football. James Cook on the more. There's my Matt Olson at the top for baseball. Michael Penix on the more passing yards. And then, of course, Patrick Mahomes, who we don't love to talk about on this channel, but it's half a passing yard, which obviously he's going to hit. Yours can look just like mine. So all you got to do is download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. So let's talk R.J. Harvey, who admittingly was not great against the Indianapolis Colts. He had 5 carries for 8 yards, and I thought it was telling that they just continued to feed J.K. Dobbins throughout the game. He wasn't nearly as effective as he should have been against the Indianapolis Colts. Harvey wasn't. J.K. Dobbins actually played very, very well. And I think the PFF grades kind of show that, maybe when you went up against a better team, that was his first real test as an NFL running back, because against the Tennessee Titans, who admittingly are not very good, he was really, really, a lot of green in those grades. And then against the Colts, a lot of orange. Very good, in run blocking still. I mean, I know it's yellow, but that was one of the things that we were worried and concerned about, was his ability to run block. And so far, he's done pretty good. But Peyton barely used R.J. Harvey against the Colts. I would like to see him be used just a little bit more, because let's be honest, when it comes to being a big-time playmaker, someone with huge boom potential, R.J. Harvey's your man. And I'm going to break down right now the 2025 stats as a whole. I want you to note something. This is the biggest indicator as to why R.J. Harvey, in my opinion, is going to be a better rookie than Omarion Hampton. Look at the snaps. He's got less than half that Omarion Hampton has had, with virtually the exact same production. So if I'm getting the same production out of R.J. Harvey on half the snaps, you can't convince me that R.J. Harvey isn't going to be a better running back, especially in the Sean Payton system. Omarion Hampton is an old-school style back. R.J. Harvey, new age. Outside, burst, speed, big playmaking ability. He's also got better hands, in my opinion, than Omarion Hampton. So he's doing more in the passing game as well. And if you're trying to succeed in 2025 football, I would so much rather have R.J. Harvey than Omarion Hampton. He's already shown his explosive playmaking ability. Hampton showed growing pains. So you tell me right here who you want. R.J. Harvey, type R.J. Omarion Hampton, type O, as in, oh my God, I cannot believe you're choosing Omarion Hampton. And if I just take a look straight up at who they're backing up, Omarion Hampton's getting backed up, or is backing up, Najee Harris, who, in my opinion, and you could debate this all you want, Najee Harris is not even close to the running back that J.K. Dobbins is as a talent. There's one key difference that has led Najee Harris to being a more productive back than J.K. Dobbins, and that's because Najee Harris doesn't have the injury history. But when it comes to pure talent, side by side, I would take J.K. Dobbins over Najee Harris all day and twice on Sunday. So let me know who you'd pick right now, R.J. Harvey on Omarion Hampton. That's going to do it for us on today's episode. A reminder to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Like today's video if you haven't already. And as always, Broncos country, be cool.